Welcome back to Sorare Wakey Academy. Today we're going to be looking at scouting in a certain area. I want to show you how I scout quickly and know what the prices are straight away, and how I track them players in the future. So I'm going to do my little watch list as well, like a little short list of players that I'm after. But I'm going to show you it from scratch, and so I don't know the Turkish League that well. I'm going to have a look at it and I'll scout keepers, defenders, midfielders, forwards. And I'll do it quite sort of quickly, just to show you what I do. So I've opened the SRdata app and I'm going to go up here to where it says Scout at the top. A lot of guys will go for Card Finder and Player Finder to scout players, but I just go for player rankings, so it ranks them from the best to the worst or the highest price. To, you can put a lot of different filters on there to get what you want. But I'm now at player rankings, and you'll see it's got every player listed here that there is. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to all leagues, and I want to find the Turkish League only, because that's what I'm scouting today. I only want Turkish players. We've gone past that one. Super Sport Total, that's the one, isn't it? Sport Total. So we click that up there, and we're going to go for goalkeepers first. And I just want to show every single keeper that there is in Turkey in goal. So I'm going to set that to 0, so it labels every single goalkeeper that there is. Now I don't want to see the latest valuation price, because prices go up and down, and you might not get them for the price that's valued at. So I'm going to go to floor prices only. And I know then, you'll see here Messi at the moment is £400, but I only want to see his floor price, because I know with the floor price that's a maximum that I will pay for that player today. And then I can barter with the player or put an offer in and get him for even cheaper, but that's a maximum I will pay for that player today. So let's filter that. So we've got our goalkeepers, we've got the Turkish League, and we've got the floor price only. So that lists all of the goalkeepers in Turkey. You'll see there's quite a lot of lists there. A lot of them might be DNP players, we don't know. Haven't looked at it yet. But what I want to do now is I want to go to this limited value bit here and click on that until I get the highest value at the top and the lowest value at the bottom, which I've now done. 111 at the top, and then it should be like a DNP at the bottom, I would have thought, or £1.11 at the bottom. So they're now in order of value of players. I can now look down these. Say I've got 20 quid to spend, right? I know I can't get any of these because the highest price, the price that I'll pay today could be 79, 78. So I'm going to go down to where it says like 20, because that's what I've got in my pocket, £20. So I know from here downwards I can afford all of these players now from here downwards. So if I want to have a quick look, I can look for where it's green. If I want like the last 5, the last 15 or the last 40, I want all greens here, don't I, instead of these reds and oranges and yellows. So let's see if there's any players that are green. There's this guy here, Vedat Karakas, who's 24, hasn't played many games, so I'm just going to ignore him because he hasn't played any games. And there's nobody else, so I've got to go back up to the top here now. So maybe I can't really afford a player that's about £20 here, because they're all rubbish. All poor scores. The first decent score coming up, I reckon there, is this guy at £43. That's all I can afford. So I wouldn't be putting any goalkeepers into my watch list at all, because there's none there at the £20. If I had a bit more money then, or I might save up or sell a player and get a bit more, I might be looking at this guy here, Fernando Muslera. Now I know he's suspended next game, but I could click on this guy now because I like the price. It's 53 quid maximum I'm going to be paying. His last 40 games he's been hitting 58.9, 58.5 but he's not played a few there. Look. Only on 40%, so that's now giving me a warning again now. Why isn't he playing? So let's click on him. I want to see his score straight away to see why he's not playing and what's happened. Yes, he's had 3 DNP. Oh, it's because of the World Cup. So he hasn't played because of the World Cup. Right, forget that. We know that he's a decent player. Look, 100, 100, 94. This lad's really worth watching. You can see him getting these scores here. Banging decent scores all the time. So this is one that I'm interested in. So I'm going to look at his price graph for a second. But I can see here it's £53 floor price. The last sale was £50. So I'm going to get him for maybe 50, put a cheeky £45 bid in. But I know he's suspended there for a yellow card suspension here. So he's out this week, but he'll be back the week after. So he's one that I might keep an eye on because I'm scouting for the future as well to see how these players get on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to a home page again on SRdata, and I'm going to set up a watch list. So I'm going to go to my watch lists. I'm going to create a new watch list up here. Look. I think most of you have probably got SRdata. I pay for the extra bit so I can get a bit more information on them. And it's really worthwhile doing that. I'm going to go to new watch list. I'm going to call this, let's call it Turkey. It's just like the Turkish League. I'm going to keep it private now until I've got some players in there and create that list. So I've now got a watch list ready. It's all empty at the moment. I'm going to go back to my goalkeeper, Sorare. I want him on my watch list because I want to track him. And I'm going to press here, this heart in the top corner, look. Click that, put him into that watch list, save. He's now in there. I'm now going to go back to these keepers and see who else I can get them. So Sorare is one that I'm looking at. So we're down here at the moment. Then any more decent one, this guy here, Runnerson. Let's have a look at him. He's £66, so a bit more expensive, but I do like him. He looks okay. Let's look at his scores. Are his scores decent? Yeah, 60s and 80s. If I look at his playing time, he's had 90 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes, all the way up. So he's playing, he's number 1 for them, for Alanyaspor. I might also then go to Alanyaspor in the league and check where they are in the league to have a look at that. But just for now, I'm just showing you how I then chuck them onto my scouting list. So I'm going to go into that, add them to my list. Boom, 2 players in there now. And 2 goalkeepers I've just checked out. Now, is there any more that I like the look of then? Now I know Bayezic's up there, he's my number 1 keeper that I have for my under 23s, and he's a 23-year-old. There's also B under there who's 24, 89 quid, a little bit cheaper, but not got the utility of 23. So let's just add Bayezic to that side because I know he's good. I've got him already. And we'll look down and we'll look at his scores then. His scores are okay. Only a young keeper, so I think he's worth getting. Look, he's playing every single game here. Though. From here onwards, that's when I get onto the team. He's been playing every game. So I like him. Price, you can see, if I go to my price graphs, he's going to be about 100 quid, isn't he? £101, yeah. So I want him. Let's put him on that list as well. So say that's all the goalkeepers I've done. I'm going to show midfielders for a second. Let me just get rid of these and open up my midfielders now. So I've looked at my goalkeepers and decided which ones I want. I'm now going to look at midfielders. Or do we go defenders? Let's go defenders, sorry. Defenders, get that to 0 and filter. And again, if you wanted to look at the price you've got, you can put the highest at the top. Was that the highest? 30 quid from midfield. Wow. So highest at the top, lowest at the bottom. If you've got around 12 quid or something, you can come down, have a look at what's available. From here downwards, you can't get any of these because they're going to be more. So from there down and then have a look at them. But I like to do this, I like to do my L40s, so I can see who's the highest player over the last 40 games and that's on this list. This is every every defender that's in Turkey. And here's all their scores for the last 40 games. So you can see on total that Gilham has been good now for the last 40 games because he's on 60 there. But his last 5 is also good in 58. If you look at down at like Leo Duarte, at the moment he's got a crap L5 score of 32, but just means he's out of form because look at his last 40. He's been hitting 56.8 for his last 40 games consistently. But he's on 32 at the moment, so I think there's something going on there. His form's not great. I'll be having a look at him for £12. He could be worth having. So let's have a proper look at Leo Duarte as a defender. So 37 for his last 5 is not great, but let's have a look at his scores. What's been going on with him then? I mean, look at this. He's been getting 70s, 60s, 80s, 90s even, and then a few DMPs and boom, he's gone down in form. So I don't know what's happened there. I mean, they lost 7-0 there, didn't they? Yeah, they lost 7-0 to Galatasaray, so we got that 8.7. But you know, a few DMPs in there. But before that, his scores were really good. So I think he could hit form again. He'll be someone that I'm looking at. And his price here is £12 because he's in such bad form. I bet you his price before used to be big. Let's look at his price graph. So at the moment he's on £13. He's gone up even from what he was. He's down here, look. But I bet you a year ago he was big. Yes, you can see there he's lost that form, and then boom, the price has come down a little bit. So it could get back up again. It could be up at the 80 quid, 68 quid. So I think he's worth a little shot at this guy. And I'm going to go and save him now to my list. So that's my defender added to that Turkey list. Come out of it again. get rid of him, and go back to the list. Now, what's next then? So who else is playing well? So he looks like he's injured. Has injured Sangeri, and he's only £1. But I think he's got quite a bad injury because he hasn't played for a long time. What about this guy then? Samit Akiadin. He's £7. He could be worth getting. He looks like he's been consistent. So I'll have a quick look at him. I'll go straight to his scores first. I can see his scores are good. They're alright. Adama Demirspor, not the best team in the world, but he's getting average scores there. They're pretty good. Look, he's playing every single game, never injured. Last time there, DMP. But playing all the games at the moment. So I know he's in the team all the time. He's getting 52 there. I might want to look at him a bit more. Have a look at all his scores. Go in as much detail as you want to afterwards, but I'm just doing quick scouting at the moment. You can see here he's playing like a centre back at £7. I think he's worth a shot, so I'm going to save him. Add him to the list. Now, is there any more that I quickly want to have a look at? So I'm going to add a few more to this list so you can see what's going on. Guys, is there anyone that's cheaper? I can also do this as well, so I can go to my limited prices. And I can go all the way down here then and see if there's anyone down here that's any good. Got a load of greens, like these here. Look at this guy. On our Bueller, he's only £4 and he's hitting 57, 53, and he's consistent the whole time. So I'll be looking at this lad and thinking, why is he not more expensive? Looking at his scores, 50s, 60s, 80s. Playing quite a few games, 2 sub. Yeah, he's in the tick most of the time, isn't he? Not the best team in the world the next playing for. But again, decent scores, and then have a look at his prices, what's happened to his price. He's only £4.85 now. Has he always been that? He's been even lower. £3 odd. Let's go to a year ago. What was he then? So yeah, he's not. I bought him even at one time, look. So he's down here now at a really low price. He might not ever go higher, I don't know. He's 28, but he's worth having if you want a consistent team. So I'll add him to my list. Done. Now let's quickly move to midfielders and let's get rid of these and let's move to my midfielders. Just so we're filling a few up here now and we can get a team out of this, can't we? So you see what I'm doing again, filter that. I'll go to my L40s. I want to try and look at the all-round score as well for 40 games, because the higher the all-round score means they've been playing really well for 40 games and getting a decent score. Even if they don't score a goal or don't get an assist, they're going to be playing really well. They're involved in the game quite a lot. Now looking at this guy, we already know he's a decent player then, because he's just maybe a bit too much for what I'm looking at. So I'll go down. I can even now, I know that they're good L40 scores, right? So I can go all the way down knowing I can get all the way down to here and they're still going to be decent players. But let's have a look down here now and see if there's anyone at the top that's cheap, like Pedrino. Then I'll click on Pedrino. He's cheap and it's at the top of the list, or near the top of the list. £6. Good scores all around for his 5, 15 and 40s. I'll look at his SO5 scores here then, so I can see if he's playing or not. A few bad scores, so his form would have gone down there, but look at his form before. It's brilliant, isn't it, Pedrino? So he's missed a couple of games there, but he's normally in the team all the time. Look at all his assists. Normally in the team all the time, all greens. Might be a bit out of form at the moment, and that's why he's getting them scores. Again, he's the one that I want to look at. I'm going to add him to the list. There we go. 7 players in that list now. We'll do one more in these midfielders. Let's get a cheaper one again. £4.95 for this lad. Why is he so cheap? Nancy's £3.60 and £4.95. So again, his L5 is quite poor, but his L40 is really good. Plays on the left midfield and right midfield and left back, so he can get up and down the pitch in different positions. He's had a bit of a rise in his price recently. Gone to £4.85, so he was £2.74. Let's look at his scores. Scores are good, aren't they? You've got 80s and 90s up there. Playing nearly every week. Oh, he went to a bad patch there where he wasn't playing, but then playing every week again. Another one that I think I want to have a closer look at, so I'll have a look at him. Add him to my list. Done. So that was another midfielder. entered in there. Let's just have a quick look down, see if there's any more. I'm going to go on to the highest at the top again, just to quickly scout here. Work my way down. Is there anyone down here right at the bottom that has any greens? Burkite or Scan is on 698. He's got 50, 49, 47, playing every week. Could be okay. Another one down at Marek Hamsik, of course, we know Marek Hamsik. Cheap as hell, £5.97 for Hamsik. Then we've got even further up. Look at this guy, Haris Hranadinovich, £4.95. We've got this lad, Oliver Kamen, £4.75. He's getting 63, but he's playing in form at the moment. He's normally around the 44 mark, so. You know, just by doing this, you can see straight away this guy, Campanaro, £3.44. He's playing 100% of the games at 56 points. Let's have a look at this guy. Who's he playing for then? Kayserispor, £3.44, and he scores. Wow, pretty good. He scores on. Look at this, playing every game. A few bad ones down there, but playing most games and getting decent scores for £3. It's got to be worth a shout. Now let's put him in there and we'll keep a track on him. But then let's just finish up with our forwards then. And of course, this isn't a proper list, I'm just trying to show you quickly what I do. Go to our forwards, filter them. I'll go to my L40s for the highest player again. Look at this one, look at Fabio Barini suddenly finding form again. £29 in form, smashing it, isn't he? And we'll look at Barini, £29. We'll look at his SL5 first. He was really good at one time, he even played for Liverpool. But in Turkey, he should be doing okay. And he is, he's getting 60s, 80s, 90s, so he's hitting form again just recently. He's probably had an upsurge in his price because of that. I mean, he had a bad spell there, but, you know, playing most games. What's happened recently then for him to get this? Let's have a look at his prices. This should have gone up or down then, looking at that last little dip. Yes, his price has gone up. He came down when he was playing bad and he started to play really well. It's gone up again. And we're getting him for like £29 or so. Really worth having a good look at, so I'll delve more into him later on. But he's on my short list. Anyone else? That's Barini out the way. Go down here. Enna Valencia decent, he's 65, but that's mainly due to his World Cup performances. 51 on average. No, these are all the 50s again. There's one that's £6. And that's Gomez. He's alright, but he must be out injured there. He's only played 40% of the games. I think that's because of, again, the World Cup. It's such a problem, this World Cup, sort of throwing you off balance slightly. Let's go down here, £8 look for this guy. Yatui's 36-year-old, though, so maybe a bit too old, especially for me. It's too old for me. Omnia Kuru at £23. Is there any decent scores down here then? Well, I mean, it's getting too bad now. They're getting down to the 40s and stuff now, so we picked a couple there. I mean, Mishi Batshawi, he's not playing that well, and he's a lot of price for that. Haji Wright is also not playing that well. But again, this guy here then, let's look at this one, 54s. And El Kabi, he plays for Hatay Sport, who are not doing bad actually. I think they were winning today, I don't know how it finished. But yeah, his price has gone up a little bit, it's up at £11 now. Let's have a look at his scores. Is he playing every game? Getting decent scores. Yeah, he's in every single game, isn't he? And that's not too bad then. And what's he called? Ayub Al-Kabi. I can have a look at his at the team itself then. Yeah, he's playing there, and he's, you know, if I wanted to scout even more, and you've seen on my other videos, what I then do is have a look for his averages, his all-round averages. I look at his decisive play and stuff, and I could do that over, you know, the last 40 games. Has he been playing well? Well, he's up there. Look, 49 is his average score over 40 games. So you can see if he's a decent player or not from looking at a few different things. But yeah, we'll add him to the list. Stick him in there. Boom. So that's it. And that's us finished with our list. We'll close that down. And we'll just now have a look at our watch list. So I want to update it to make sure everything's gone in there, so that we've got the right players. I've got 11 players in there. What I do then is, instead of looking at this bit here, I go to put them in a big line basically. I can then either change them to just one position on, so I can go and have a look at just my goalkeepers if I want to. So I've got 3 goalkeepers and I can compare them. He's on 62, look at his last 5. He's on 54. I can do whatever I want with this now. I can look at the floor prices, I can put them in order as well, so highest at the top, lowest at the bottom. So there's a lot I can do on this. I can also have a look at their super rare price and their unique price. There's all sorts, isn't there? I can put goalkeepers and defenders in there if I want to. If I want to try and get a pair in between, like Duarte as a defender and Baez as a goal. Whatever, you can match them up, can't you? Do your matchups there. Let's just put them all back on again then. So I'm looking at all the players I've just added to this list. There's 11 of them. Now, what I can do from here is have a look at the floor values. Highest at the top, lowest at the bottom. And again, I can now have a proper look at any of these players at all, and I can keep an eye on this price. You see the average floor price there, and then you'll see the actual, you see the floor price on this side here and the valuation on the left-hand side. So if you look down there, you can see here one of them, El Kaabi, his average value is £11, but he's actually going at £10.11 at the moment as his floor price. So I could probably get him for like 8 or 9 quid. And I'd be getting him cheap because his average price is 11 quid. Whereas, you know, Pedrino here, his average price is £6, but it's actually £8.90 his floor price. But it's good for looking down and seeing things like that. I mean, I have loads of lists like this for Italy, for Germany, for, you know, whoever it might be. Just to see the good players are, and I can keep a track of them for a long time. And I can see if anyone's injured by looking at him. Look, I know Sorare, we've already looked at him. He's out for a suspension, a yellow card suspension. But it's just nice to look down every now and again and refresh it, see what you want. If I want to have a look at under 23s, I can go down to the age, I can put a filter on that and put down to, say, I only want to look at up to 24-year-olds filter. That seems to be a lot. It's not doing it properly yet. It's catching up. Yes, I've done that up to 23 and there's only one person, so let's just change that again. Let's go to, I don't know, under 30s. And I've got to apply it. And then filter. So it's thrown up a few more under 30s. It's just so easy to do. And I can keep a good track in it really quickly, really simply. So if someone comes up to me and says, who do you recommend for this position? And you ask what their budget is, tell you I want a Turkish player at 30 quid. Boom, have a look down that list, look at the £30 and see who's got greens for their L5, L15, L40, then have a quick look at them. And it's such a quick way to do the scouting. So that's my scouting of Turkey, a quick sort of look at it. We've got some decent players there then. I'll just get this back to the whole lot. I think there's 11 players in there, isn't there? But I can add to that, I can take it away. I'll do a few more leagues properly soon and go through them all. Get some decent players there. But you can really pick up some good players. If you look down that list there, they're all in greens. And then you look at the prices, £4, I can afford that. Bang, you get that player. £3.44 for this guy, bang. You're in and you're getting decent scores of 57, look. It's the same price as one of these that's up here. He's on 54 and he's 111 quid, although he's a goalkeeper. You know, we could look at Barini, say. Oh, he's Batman, isn't he, actually? Pedrino, £8.90, he's getting a 46, but this guy here, £3.44 and he's getting 57s. It's just a quick way. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Give us a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. If you're brand new and you've not got an account yet, or if you've got an account and you're a little bit struggling, you don't know what you're doing, you can always destroy that account, join back up again with an affiliate like myself. After you've bought 5 cards at auction, you get a free card. It helps the channel out, it helps me out as well in producing all this this stuff for you. But, you know, just ask me, just DM me over in Twitter. I'll put comments under my videos. Anything you want, I'll answer. I answer every single comment that comes down here. I answer all of my DMs also on Twitter. So give me a shout, anything you want to know, any mates that you've got that are interested, give them my link and take it from there. And I'll see you soon. Thanks.